gunman shot at an officer as he was driving by from a brief traffic stop. The Tarboro Police Department said Sunday that the officer found bullet holes in his cruiser. State Superintendent of Public Instruction Mark Johnson has been on the job for about a year now, and he's continued to deal with some legal battles with the appointed State Board of Education.
We have another court case coming up in February. That's going to be at the state Supreme Court. I am optimistic they will just uphold the ruling that the lower court issued in the summer.
State Superintendent of Public Instruction Mark Johnson. You're listening to NCN News.
Do you want the latest insider news and information for your favorite college sports team? Subscribe now to the ACC Sports Journal magazines. Our ACC Sports Journal magazines are filled with extensive detail on each team for football, basketball, and recruiting. It's a must-buy for every fan of the Tar Heels, Blue Devils, Wolfpack, Demon Deacons, and the rest of the ACC. Subscribe now and save 40% off the cover price. That's a full year subscription for just $24. Be sure to subscribe now to receive our 2018 ACC Basketball Recruiting Guide. As a subscriber, you'll get your copy before it hits the newsstands. Ordering is fast and easy too. Just go to accsports.com right now and click on the big yellow Subscribe Now button. Don't miss out on this offer. Go to accsports.com now and click on the Subscribe Now button.
The fallout continues after a false alarm that sent Hawaiians into panic over a ballistic missile threat.
It was a routine test until someone apparently pressed the wrong button. The governor's apologized. His chief of staff says changes have already been made.
We added some additional redundancy, so it's not just one person making that call to put the message out and double-checking our system.
But President Trump has said the federal government will get involved. The FCC already investigating just why safeguards weren't in place. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
One person is dead and 3 others injured in an early morning fire in Fayetteville. Firefighters arrived around 4:30 a.m. on Sunday to find most of the single-family home engulfed in flames. Drone technology is presenting a modern-day problem for everything from airports to prisons. Basil Yap with the North Carolina Department of Transportation says,
a lot of people view these as really toys. And drones, while there are many great benefits to them, can pose some significant safety concerns to manned aircraft, including helicopters and our airliners.
Pope Francis is on his way to South America, where he will visit Chile and Peru over the course of the next week. Joshua McElwee is the Vatican correspondent for the National Catholic Reporter.
In Chile, he's under a lot of fire because of a bishop he appointed there in 2015, who his detractors say abetted the cover-up of a priest in the 1980s and 90s who was abusing children. So many Chilean Catholics are very upset with the appointment made by the Pope, and in advance of this trip, they've made their anger known. They're threatening to protest each day the Pope is in Chile, and it looks like the focus of this trip is now becoming quite serious and very delicate for the pontiff.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
We are country at its best with a blend of yesterday's memories. WCAB, Rutherfordton.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump firing back on allegations he made vulgar comments to describe Haiti and African countries during an immigration meeting.
Did you see what various senators in the room said about my comments? They weren't made.
The president referring to Republican Senators Tom Cotton and David Perdue, who initially said that they did not recall if the president used that language in the meeting, now say that the president never made those remarks. The controversy putting a deal to protect Dreamers at risk, the president now questioning the fate of an agreement to protect the 800,000 undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as children. Why did it take 38 minutes for Hawaii Emergency Management to alert the islands that there was no imminent missile attack? That's the question authorities are asking now after an employee accidentally sent a missile alert message Saturday. ABC's Jim Avila is in Honolulu.
Hawaiian officials have decided that the veteran technician who was at the controls when this alert went out will no longer be at the controls. He'll undergo significant retraining. For right now, though, he will not be allowed in the room, much less touch the button.
ABC's Jim Avila. Terrifying moments for dozens of passengers on board a boat that caught fire off the waters of Florida.
50 passengers were on board a shuttle carrying them to an offshore casino boat in the Gulf of Mexico when it caught fire in the engine room just after departing Port Richey. The fire quickly spread. The captain beached the boat, and as the flames grew, passengers and crew jumped off.
I have to praise the boat captain for getting that boat in so close that when they got in the water, they had a very short distance to walk.
Pasco County Deputy Fire Chief Andrew Fossa says 15 passengers were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
More precautionary for being in the water. Some had some chest pains, a little bit of shortness of breath. Some had some smoke inhalation.
Brian Clark, ABC News.
In California, the death toll climbing. 20 people now confirmed dead following last week's mudslides. 4 others are still missing. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or more importantly, if you signed up for a plan that you're just not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare. MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing program that's been around for 25 years, and they have hundreds of thousands of members all across the country. And get this, over the years, MediShare members have shared more than $1 billion of each other's medical bills. Best of all, you could save a lot of money with MediShare. The typical savings for a family is about $500 a month. Your savings could be more or less, but think about what you could do with that extra money. Think you're stuck with a high-cost health plan that doesn't have a lot to offer? Well, think again. You can join MediShare anytime, so call them today and check it out. Here's the number to find out more, and there's no pressure. They're super easy to talk to. 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
As America marks Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday today, the nation also reflecting on 50 years since his assassination. One young girl is celebrating her win in a nationwide MLK Jr. contest. ABC's Adrienne Bankert has her story.
It's at the annual Martin Luther King Jr. oratory competition. 5th grader Chinori Kone gave a powerful message Friday from her Houston elementary school.
Problems of racial injustice and economic injustice cannot be solved without a radical redistribution of political and economic power.
Hundreds of students from over 20 schools competed, Chinori making it to the final round. Getting past the butterflies, she spoke up for children in poverty. Her passion enough to win the top prize.
Thank you.
ABC's Adrienne Bankert. Ceremonies and volunteer events scheduled to honor King's life and legacy. A close call for a commercial jetliner in Turkey after a Boeing 737 skidded off the runway, nearly plunging into the Black Sea. ABC's chief foreign correspondent Terry Moran has more.
Inside, a baby crying. Cell phone video showing 168 passengers and crew evacuating quickly, slogging up the muddy slopes to safety. Many passengers spoke of panic in the plane during the incident. Overnight, fire crews pumped water on the plane. A few plumes of smoke could be seen at the site.
ABC's Terry Moran. This is ABC News.
A good night's sleep starts with the right pillow. That's where My Pillow comes in, and we're excited to announce the My Pillow buy one get one offer is back. Purchase any My Pillow premium bed pillow and get the second bed pillow absolutely free. Go to mypillow.com, click on the buy one get one free tab, and take advantage of this limited time offer. Use promo code SKY at checkout or call 1-800-635-1825. That's mypillow.com, click on the buy one get one free tab, use promo code SKY at checkout.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Have you noticed what's going on at Oakland Feed and Seed? Cheapest price in town on propane refills. 20-pound cylinder, $11.99. Forklift cylinder, $17.99. And the 100-pound cylinders, $55.99. Whole corn, $6.99 for the 50-pound bag. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 for the 50-pound bag. 17-17-17, just $12.50 for the 50-pound bag. Check with Oakland Feed and Seed for all prices. You'll find them the cheapest around. It's a generational thing. Your dad and your dad's dad shopped at Oakland Feed and Seed. Oakland Road, Spindale. Locally owned and operated.
High pressure over the area today should leave us with mostly sunny to sunny skies. Temperatures not quite as cold as yesterday, but still quite chilly with highs around 36 to 41. Overnight tonight, we'll have mostly clear skies and light winds. It'll be cold, lows dropping into the upper teens to low 20s. Then on Tuesday, we'll start the day mostly sunny early on, turning partly to mostly cloudy through the afternoon. A little warmer tomorrow with a south to southwest breeze and highs 44 to 49. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Thanks very much, Mike Moss. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday, the 15th of the month. Martin Luther King Jr. birthday today. And it is cold outside. Right now, 17 degrees, warming up to about 40, but that wind chill value is going to be as low as 17 throughout today with a breeze blowing, cutting through us. Mostly clear tonight with lows around 23. Tuesday, partly cloudy, highs around 47 with northeast wind to 7 miles per hour. Then Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, that's when it gets a little bit iffy. Mostly cloudy with a chance of rain and snow Tuesday night. Lows around 22 with the southwest wind to 6 miles per hour. The chance of precipitation about 40%. And they're telling us there may be a new snow accumulation of less than a half an inch possible Tuesday night. 40% chance is not major, but it could be. Wednesday morning, partly cloudy with a chance of snow. Highs around 32. Wind chill value as low as 14. Wind gusting to 18 miles per hour with a 20% chance of precipitation. That's Wednesday morning. Wednesday night, mostly clear. Lows around 14 with the wind chill value as low as 7. Wind gusting to 15 miles per hour. So the next few days, we're going to be experiencing wintertime. But the good news of that is it starts warming up by Thursday and Friday. By Friday, mostly sunny, highs around 51. Friday night, back down to 28. Saturday, mostly sunny, highs around 56. And then on Sunday, partly cloudy with highs around 60. So weekend is going to be nice and warm, but we got to get through this cold breeze coming here the next few days with the possibility of a mixture of rain and or snow on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. We'll keep watching that. They changed that from time to time. We had it in, they took it out, they put it back in again, so we'll see what's going to happen in terms of the snow and rain Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. But right now it's 17 degrees here at WCAB in Rutherford. We're happy to inform you this morning that we do not have any death announcements this morning. We had a bunch of them the past couple of weeks, but this morning, fortunately, there are no deaths to report this morning. We are being kind to Theron Watts of Ellenboro. He's 88 today. He's now the newest member of the WCAB Be Kind to Hall of Fame. Announcing the Rutherford County Waste Away Weight Loss Challenge presented by Rutherford Regional Health System and the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce. It's a 12-week countywide weight loss contest. Registration is going on now through the 19th. You can register now. And the challenge begins Monday, January the 22nd. The Rutherford County Waste Away Weight Loss Challenge is here just in time for that New Year's resolution to shed pounds and feel better. It's open to those 18 and older who live and or work in Rutherford County. This program will feature weekly weigh-ins and information that will help you lose weight safely and responsibly. First and second place prizes, males and females who lose the highest percentage of body weight. Initial kickoff and weigh-in is at 5:30 Monday, January 22nd in the Norris Biggs classroom at Rutherford Regional Medical Center next to the hospital outpatient entrance. You can register through the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce at rutherfordcoc.org. There is a $25 registration fee, non-refundable. Weekly weigh-ins will be at 5:30, followed by a short presentation to give guidance on healthy weight loss. That may be a good, healthy way to get started on that. So we'll check into that. If you have any questions, you can contact Rutherford Hospital or the Chamber of Commerce. And tomorrow, let me remind those of you who are interested in this, the Honor Flight movie is going to be shown at the cinema over here. Follow four World War II veterans as they make their way to the memorial, World War II Memorial in Washington. And free popcorn and free drinks.
Last Thursday, Nancy Pelosi was asked about the ongoing negotiations over the so-called Dreamers, the children of illegal immigrants who are also here illegally. Pelosi told reporters she has a nickname for the group negotiating the deal. The Five White Guys, I call them, she said. She wondered if they're going to open a hamburger stand next or what. Now, two of the Five White Guys Pelosi referred to are Republican leaders Kevin McCarthy and John Cornyn. The other two are Democrats, Dick Durbin, and Pelosi's number two, Steny Hoyer. The fifth is John Kelly, the White House chief of staff. Pelosi claimed a deal could have been done months ago, but this week they're saying, let's get four white guys and General Kelly to come and do this. Well, apparently Pelosi's remarks did not go over well with her team. Republicans are so used to Democrats' racist slams, they didn't even bother to respond. But her guy, Steny Hoyer, took aim at Pelosi's racial remarks. He said, that comment is offensive. I'm committed to ensuring Dreamers are protected, and I will welcome everyone to the table who wants to get that done. Stenny, chill out, my man. Give it time. You'll get used to being ridiculed and attacked merely for being a white guy. It's bound to happen. I mean, what does the content of your character have to do with anything anymore anyway, Stenny? As far as she's concerned, you're a white guy, and that makes you the enemy.
Hiring is important. People are what make your business work. But how do you find the right talent? ZipRecruiter makes it simple. One click sends your job ad to over 100 of the web's leading job boards. But ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. Their smart matching technology will instantly alert quality candidates about your job. That means you'll start getting great candidates with the right experience almost as soon as your job is posted. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. The right candidates are out there. This is how you find them. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
People from businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. We're so confident ZipRecruiter will get you better results than anywhere else. We'll let you try it free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tired of winter?
I can't stand much more of this.
Hey, we'll keep you warm till springtime arrives. Today's hits and yesterday's memories. Family-friendly AM 590, WCAB.
Hi, I'm John Erickson Tata for DisabilityCampaign.org. You know, a lot of my friends get pretty tongue-tied when it comes to talking about disabilities. A few have referred to me as being confined to a wheelchair. Well, when I hear that word confined, it kind of makes me uncomfortable because I'm not in prison. This wheelchair is the next best thing to having legs that walk. So I prefer to see myself as, a wheelchair user. Parents whose children have autism spectrum disorder realize that that is saying a mouthful, so you might want to just refer to these kids as children who have autism. It's a lot better than talking about that autistic kid. People who survive a terrible burn aren't necessarily burn victims, they are burn survivors. What's a good rule of thumb about language? Well, think of how you would like to be referred to if you had a disability. That's a good word of advice from DisabilityCampaign.org.
More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year. And if you or a loved one experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. That's why the emergency department at Rutherford Regional Health System is a chest pain accredited facility. What does that mean to you? It means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attacks. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to safe quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com. Hey, you know what? You can start your day with the best coffee in town, fresh and hot. That's the S&D 12-ounce coffee for only 99 cents. Now, I've talked about this S&D coffee that drop-in food stores carries in the past. It is really good, and they got it for 99 cents. Bologna biscuits for only 99 cents. Some people call it bologna, but around here we call it bologna. The biscuits for only 99 cents. You can get a 15-pack of Coke for 12-ounce cans, only $3.99. 18-pack of Pepsi, $4.99. 2-liter Pepsi, 3 for $3. And don't forget the For Real milkshake, 16-ounce, $2.99. Visit Major Lee's Deli for hot wings. There are 23,000 sold a month of those wings. You believe that? They're delicious. Pizza, $9.99. Choose one or all 10 toppings at no additional charge. Also enjoy delicious hot dogs, hamburgers, egg rolls, potato wedges, honey mustard or ranch chicken wraps, chicken strips, regular or spicy, or choose from many chicken dinner options. All fresh, never frozen. The Drop-In is your hometown convenience store since 1981. Come on, drop in.
It was a dreary January day when a young 16-year-old boy wandered into Cosey, Texas, looking for companionship. And since young boys usually get what they're looking for, this young boy met a pretty girl, and they made arrangements to meet later at her place. The boy arrived at the appointed hour, and the two of them continued getting along famously. Then someone stepped on the porch and pounded on the door. The girl said it was her sweetheart. The door sprang open and the boyfriend entered. Expressing outrage at the situation, the boyfriend demanded $100 or he would kill the young boy. The young boy explained that he only had about $50 or $60 in his pocket, but if he could go to the stable, he had more money in his saddlebags. He would get it and be right back. Not a fool, the boyfriend said. Give me what you have first. Nervously, the young boy reached in his pocket and pulled out the money, dropping some on the floor. The boyfriend reached down to get the money, and when he raised back up, the young boy's pistol was pointing at his face. Without a moment's hesitation, the gun went off and the boyfriend fell over dead with a hole in his head. Incidentally, the young man was in Cozy, Texas, because he had barely escaped from Horn Hill, Texas, where he had killed another man. And the man in Horn Hill wasn't his first. He had killed about 6 prior to this. Oh yes, the young boy's name? John Wesley Hardin, one of the Old West's most famous cold-blooded killers. There's a lesson here. Con men should always check out their mark. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Monday morning call around report continues now and picks up now, and we talk with Deputy Inslee from the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department to get the information from over there. Good morning. How you doing?
Morning, sir. How are you?
Doing great. What's on the report?
Good. Past 48 hours, Sheriff's Office has responded to 231 calls, made 15 arrests, and there's currently 197 incarcerated in the jail. On to our incident reports, we have Robert Bowling, Chimney Rock Road, reported larceny of a firearm. Forrest Lynch, O'Neill Road, reported stolen vehicle. Jessica Cogdale of Darlington Road, reported juvenile runaway. Terrell Early, McSwain Road, reported larceny. Neon Limpkin, Sparks Drive, reported recovering items. Bobby Johnson, Hunt Road, reported damage to personal property. David Lawton, Beacon Hill, reported missing person. Ryan Clark, Webb Church Road, reported felony larceny. William Moore, Ellenberry Henrietta Road, reported breaking and entering and larceny after breaking and entering. Keisha Petty, Doggett Grove Road, reported discharged weapon. Brandy Frazier, Murray Street, Henrietta, reported breaking and entering of motor vehicle and larceny after breaking and entering. And Santos Dos from Cherry Street, reported missing person. And on to our arrest reports. We have Rachel Rumfelt of Lonesome Pine Drive, larceny of motor vehicle. Megan Clark, Harris Henrietta Road, charged with possess Schedule 2. Marilyn Sessoms, Jacobs Lane, reported second-degree trespass. Joshua Gibson, Big Island Road, Ferry to Apparel misdemeanor. Terrell Early, McSwain Road, Ferry to Apparel misdemeanor. Roberto Alvarez, Amity Drive, charged with disorderly conduct and resist arrest. Benny Shelton, McDaniel Street, charged with obtaining property false pretense and felony breaking and entering. Hoyt Collins, Lake Davis Road, charged with violation of domestic protection order. Carpenter Davis, Peppertown Road, charged with failure to apparel misdemeanor. Patricia Collins, Harris Henrietta Road, charged with disorderly conduct and failure to apparel misdemeanor. Christopher Hull, Franklin Drive, charged with driving while license revoked, misdemeanor possess Schedule 4, possess drug paraphernalia. Ann Dickey, Malden Way, charged with felony breaking and entering, larceny after breaking and entering, and identity theft. Jordan Fincannon, Church Street, obtained property false pretense. Emily Bryant, US 64, charged with failure to apparel misdemeanor. And the last one, Mary Cohen, North Main Street, Henrietta, charged with safe cracking. That's all I have this morning.
Deputy Intro, thank you so very much. Busy weekend, it sounds like. We appreciate your service.
Sure was.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Be safe out there.
Thank you.
21 minutes after 7 here on this Monday morning, the 15th day of the month. We'll get to our next phone call right after this.
One of the hottest things going on in automobile world today is the fuel-efficient Ford Escape from Sisk Family Ford. You get more value for your money with the Ford Escape, and you'll appreciate the comfort and the value in this remarkable automobile. Try one on for comfort today at Sisk Family Ford, and whenever you need top-of-the-line service on any automobile you own, be sure to bring it to the experts at Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Here's Derek now with a report from 911 Communications Center. Good morning. How are you doing?
Pretty good. About yourself?
Good, thanks. What's on the report?
Alrighty, in the past 48 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 801 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 56 EMS, 31 rescue. For Sheriff's Office, we had 231. Forest City, 76. Lake Lure, we had 10 calls. 68 for Rutherfordton. 85 for Spindale. Shingle Hollow responded to a structural fire. Assisting departments were Green Hill, Bills Creek, and Union Mills. Forest City responded to a motor vehicle accident and appliance fire. And SDO responded to a motor vehicle accident as well. And that is all we had.
Thanks, Derek. We appreciate it.
Not a problem. Have yourself a great day.
Starting this afternoon, we will be airing the Spindale Police report, Spindale Fire Department report at the afternoon report this afternoon. Starting today, we'll add the Spindale Fire and Police report to that, and we're looking to expand other departments across the county, both morning and afternoon. So if your fire department in your community is not on the air, you'd like for them to be, contact them and let them know we're looking for them. We'd love to have them on too. But starting this afternoon, Spindale Fire and Police report to be added to the afternoon report as the Spindale Fire Department gives the report. Ruby Taylor is reporting now from the Danieltown SDO district. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report, Ruby?
Well, the fire department had one call, and that was to a vehicle accident. And on my birthday calendar, I've got Dean Alley and Barbara Allen having birthdays, and hope they have a nice day. Signs are in the knees today and tomorrow, and Jim, that's all I've got.
Ruby, I appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Your car only needs one place to prepare for the cooler months ahead. RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue, Ruth. RS Express Inspection Station can get you back on the road and keep you legal. RS Speedy Lube Station has 2 lanes to get you in and out in no time. They carry wiper blades and will rotate your tires. Complete car care altogether, including transmission flush and car wash. Count on Chris and his team to take care of all your car needs. Make it your first stop. RS Speedy Lube Service Center, Railroad Avenue in Ruth.
Now we're going up to Rumley Ball, beautiful part of our county, overlooking beautiful Lake Lure. Here is Steve to give us a report. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm frigid over here, so I guess we're all sharing in that.
Well, let's embrace it for a few days because this weekend sounds like it's going to be kind of nice.
Yeah, if we get past Wednesday, I think the high Wednesday is going to be 30.
That's right.
So, Lord. So, maybe a good day to play hooky.
There you go.
I just gave myself away.
Yeah.
But
so if you're not there Wednesday, we're going to know what happened.
Yeah, I know. But we'll manage to get through it. We got a sheet of ice across the street on top of our admin building. I'm sure that it'll be a delayed go today for our golf over there, and whoever wants to play golf in these conditions, God bless you. I just can't imagine getting out there and hitting the ball around and paying somebody to go out there and do it for all that pain. But
yeah, really.
We'll be open for those that want to do it. So we're good. Over the weekend, it was pretty uneventful. My people tell me. I call in regularly to just make sure everything's going according to plan, and everybody was indoors watching football games, and we had some pretty good ones. I didn't watch too much myself, but from my understanding, so some indoor activities for sure this weekend, and next weekend as well. So
Well, yesterday was surely the day to stay in.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The wind was cutting.
Ooh. So, but all went well, unless your team lost. Oh, Lord. The Panthers aren't in it no more, so I'm kind of watching Jacksonville a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Where I came from. So, but other than that, it was pretty uneventful over the weekend here. So, sometimes no news is good news.
That's right. Well, keep up the good work up there, Steve, and we'll check back in with you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. We'll do.
Bye-bye.
Let's run the ball nice and quiet this morning. Well, let me brag about Hutchins Pest Control just a moment. Hutchins Pest Control, Tim Hutchins is the owner. The company's honest, dependable, and on-time service. Those are the kinds of things you appreciate when you're calling somebody to come help you out at your house. Tim Hutchins is the owner. Along with his family, Chad, Charlie, and Emily, they have been voted best in pest control several years, 6 years or more. If you have a pest problem, or if you want to take care of it before it becomes a problem, call on Hutchins Pest Control. Here's the number, 287-5171, 287-5171, 34 years experience. And when they got their family name on the business, you can rest assured they can do all they can to make that name meaningful. Call Hutchins Pest Control, 287-5171. Honest, dependable, and on time. Here's Bob Hodge now. He's up in the Hudlow Fire District overlooking things for us. Bob, how you doing this morning?
Oh, done pretty good on Monday morning.
Yep. Had a good weekend, I know.
Well, I had a good weekend. Things was fairly quiet up here over the weekend. With the fire department, it was pretty quiet. We answered a few medical calls. Didn't have any wrecks or fire calls, so that's good. And so far this morning, things right along there pretty good. And this is a holiday, no school today and stuff. So
yeah, no school, no post office, no banks.
Yeah, that's right. No mail. I guess banks either.
No, banks are closed today as well.
Yeah, so I guess everybody just stay around and take it easy today.
Well, there's a lot of folks having to work today. They're going to work anyway, so I guess they just can't cash their checks today.
They just can't cash your check today. That's right. But like I say, Jim, things going on good this morning, and maybe it'll stay that way. And pretty cool this morning, but look like we're gonna have some more bad weather move in by tomorrow evening, so.
Sure sounds that way.
But I'm looking forward to the weekend. We're going to get back up around in the 60s, so that sounds good by the weekend again, so I'm ready for that.
Yeah, we can go Easter egg hunting this weekend. It'll be still warm.
That's right. Yeah, people be walking around with shorts on. We get 60 degrees there. But, Jim, you take care, and you have a good day.
Thanks, Bob. I hope you do, too, and I will check back with you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
And you can hear Bob Hodge with the afternoon report most days, too, with Tom Green at 29 now past 7. The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. Well, in case you're wondering, Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply is open today. They are open. The gates are open already over there, and they're ready to assist you in whatever you need. If you're looking for square, round bales of hay, they got plenty of hay and straw. They also have a Kerry Pride dog food. Commercial Jackson wheelbarrow is only $99.99. They have a wide selection of snow sleds, too, so it would be smart to go ahead and get yours while they have a good selection, starting at $8.99. Who knows, we may get that snow this week, so be prepared for it. Drive one over to Farmer's Friend, and they got all kinds of things. Propane grill tanks, 20-pound, only $10.99. They can fix you up with propane. They got generic dog food, 40-pound bag, $11.99. 20% off on all dog beds. If your dog has been howling for a nice warm bed, now's the time to get it at Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supplies, and they are open today. Now, Cherry Mountain is our next stop, and that's where we'll find Sue Price with the report. Good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
Welcome to Monday.
Oh, yeah. Nice cold Monday.
Yes.
Big frost out there this morning. I got 15 degrees, so that's cold. But it's all right. We'll make it through it as long as the heat stays on. And let's see. I have 15 degrees. Have nothing from the fire department, so I guess they were quiet. That's a good thing. And no birthdays on my church calendar, and nothing on my personal calendar for today. So, nothing on Fairviews for today, and nothing on First Broad. So just nobody's celebrating it this way, but I hope anybody that is having a birthday or anniversary will have a good day. And in my announcements, there will be a fundraiser for Benny and Ann Tony to help with medical bills. Breakfast and indoor yard sale. The breakfast is for donations only. The fundraiser will be at Golden Valley Missionary Methodist Church Saturday, January 20th from 7 to 11 a.m., weather permitting. Hopefully it's going to be a nice day Saturday for that, I hope. But anyway, we're hoping it turns out good. And tonight is our meeting at the Golden Valley Clubhouse, and her daughter will be there. She said if anybody had anything they wanted to donate, they could bring it, and she'd be glad to take it on to the church. Saturday, January 27th, will be Italian night at the Hopewell Hollis Community Clubhouse. That's on 2500 Hollis Road. Menu includes lasagna, spaghetti, salad bar, French bread, and homemade desserts, and they have some good homemade desserts. Supper is sponsored by the Hopewell Hollis Ruatan Club, so I always enjoy going to that. It's a good supper. Get to see some good friends. And so far, I think that's the only announcements I have. It's just quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Thanks so very much. I appreciate it. You have a warm day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Jerry Martin reporting in this morning at 7:33. Let me remind you again of the movie tomorrow, being sponsored by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home, Mike Mahan's Funeral Home, and Fadgett and King. It's called Honor Flight. It's a documentary for World War II veterans as they make their trip to Washington, D.C. to see the World War II monument for the first time ever. It's quite a movie, I understand. I plan on trying to get over there myself. It's free for you. They just like to know if you're coming. Call one of the sponsors, call Washburn Dorsey or Fadgett King or Mike Mahan's. And I understand from Ken Dorsey it's going to be free popcorn and free drinks for you as well. That's tomorrow at 1 o'clock over here at the cinema. Honor Flight. Make your plans. And if you've got a veteran in your family, try to get them over there as well.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
More on hand, ready to install high-quality floor products than anybody else, and they do it right. Nothing compares to the personalized in-store attention you get and long-lasting tradition of quality. All those things are being said about Southern Carpet, the home of Bruce Hardwood, Appalachian Hardwood, ceramic tile, Tarkett flooring, Armstrong vinyl, and they're located conveniently here in Forest City at 1512 West Main Street, right across the North State Gas Company. You could call them if you like, 245-0310. Look them up on the web and see some great-looking pictures of how your floors might look. SouthernCarpet.net. That's Southern Carpet. Should be your next stop when you're looking for new floors at your house. Now here's a lady we haven't talked with in several days. Just been sort of puny. Let's see how she's feeling today. Brenda Kelly, how you doing?
I'm still puny.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you getting any better?
Well, just a little bit, not a whole lot, but maybe I'll soon be over this mess. I sure hope Lou ain't getting it. She didn't sound too good either.
Yeah, she's a little croupy this morning as well.
Yeah. Oh, I ain't never been so sick, Jim. I ain't never been this sick.
What do you
think? They say the older we get, the harder it is to fight something, and I believe it.
Have they diagnosed it as just a severe case of the flu or bronchitis?
Yeah. That's what they told me. So.
Are you on some kind of medication for that?
Well, I've done a Z-Pack. I finished it Thursday, and they say it's good for up to 6 to 10 days after you finish it. I just know I've been a sick motor scooter.
Throat sore too?
Yeah, my throat. That's what started it, was a sore throat, and I didn't feel bad, and then all of a sudden, wham!
I bet you've been staying in bed most of the time, haven't you?
Oh, that's all I do is in bed or in this reclining chair.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing else.
Well, is anybody?
I ain't gonna worry about it.
Is anybody making you any good hot chicken soup? That's good for you.
Oh, well, my grandson bought me some Campbell's chicken soup. No, I'm here by myself. Ain't nobody here to make it for me. But he bought me some Campbell's chicken soup, and I've been eating some along. And I did, when I first got sick, he gave me some chicken and rice, and eat that, but it didn't help.
Well, I'm glad you're seeing a little bit of sign of improvement anyway.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, I appreciate everybody's prayers and their phone calls. Some of the days I don't even remember, don't know what happened or what went on or nothing else. But that's all right. I'm still above ground, so that's the main thing.
Well, I hated to bother you this morning, but I did want to check on you. So, a lot of folks have asked me about how Brenda Callie's doing, and so the best way I got to do is talk to you if you're able.
Yeah, I've got 14 degrees on the front porch, and birthday today I've got Earl Joe Rice, and on Round Hill I got Chris Biddix, and I don't have any announcements that I know of, and that's all I know of that's going on. I just know I've been very sick. I haven't been to church in 3 weeks.
Gosh, I know you miss that.
Oh, I do. I sat here yesterday and cried because I couldn't go to church.
Oh.
But I wouldn't want nobody to have this. Of course, they say I'm not contagious now because I finished all my medicine. I'm still taking a Mucinex and some kind of little old cough, Tessalon Pearl cough things. I believe I wouldn't have. I'd have done all right if I hadn't had a reaction to that cough syrup with codeine in it.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that set me back.
Yep, probably so.
But other than that, I'm doing okay.
A little bit along, inch by inch. Maybe you'll get back to the Brenda Kelly we're familiar with.
I hope so.
Yeah. Take care of yourself and get some rest, and we'll try not to bother you. If you're not able to talk with us, just let us know. We won't bug you in the morning.
No, go ahead and call me. I'll probably be up and about.
Okay. Thanks, Brenda.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye now.
That's Brenda Kelly reporting in from her sick room up there this morning. 7:39, we're being kind today to Theron Watts of Ellenboro. Turns 88 today, so happy birthday to Theron Watts, and congratulations. He's now the newest member of the WCAB Be Kind to Hall of Fame. It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. Not every company gets an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, but Miracle-Ear does. Not every company has a worldwide positive reputation, but Miracle-Ear does. And you can get some sound facts about Miracle-Ear. You can begin getting involved again with your community, with your family, and you really get back in step, because with Miracle-Ear in your ear, things are going to change for the better. Contact Lisa Terry today at Miracle-Ear Center, 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102 in Forest City, over at 1506-2 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Either way, call the Miracle-Ear location near you and ask about that free hearing test. No obligation, doesn't cost anything, doesn't take a lot of time, But they'll give you a better feel of what's going on in there. Be one or two, one ear, both ears. And you don't have to be a senior citizen to experience hearing loss. Young people can experience it based on a lot of different things. Middle-aged folks can lose their hearing based on industrial noise or whatever the case may be. But don't let it drag on and drag on and drag on. Go ahead and do something about it today. Miracle Ear is so close by.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
Ellenboro is our next stop, and that's where Mr. Luther Gilligan is located, and he's out and about, up and at 'em this morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Good morning, sir.
You staying cool, too.
I bet you are cool, man. Cool dude.
Change your breed down here.
Cool dude this morning.
I'm a cool dude. Looks like I'll be a cool dude all day. Not going to be too hot today. Just barely get above freezing.
Yep, you're right.
But hey, we'll live with it. We'll get by. We can have it. It's quiet this morning. Nothing going on there. A lot of people had the day off. They just laying back, relaxing. Too cold to get out. Just stay out where it's warm. But see, the fire department, they had 4 calls over the week, 4 medical calls over the weekend. But they didn't have anything last night and this morning. They had 2 of them Saturday and 2 Sunday. But this morning, nothing so far. But won't we have birthday dates? Miss Trent Parrish is having one today, and Evan Dewall was having one. And also Kyle Sisk having a birthday today. So hope these people have a great day and enjoy their day. And I said nothing else happening, Jim. You have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Keep us posted on Ellenboro. We'll see you next time.
I'll keep an eye on it. Take care.
Bye. 7:43, and it's time now for birthdays and anniversaries for the 15th of January. 15th of January, birthdays and anniversaries. Coming up here in just a moment, we've cleared the phone lines for you to get in at 287-3356. And Lou's standing by up there to take your call. We'll give away some Daylight Donuts from Granny B's coming up here in just a few moments. So call your birthdays into us now. Well, if you want to get by a Washburn store and check out their big selection of Pointer brand overalls made in the good old US of A. They probably have your size, but if they don't, they can special order those to fit you. But they do have a large selection of overalls to fit men and women, boys and girls. While you're there, might as well pick up some of that hip cheese, Wisconsin hip cheese, crackers, and hip cheese in front of a fireplace. That doesn't make a great snack. Got local honey as well. Washburn Store's got a lot of supplies you won't find other places. Maybe just walk around, look around, see what you can find at Washburn Store between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for a city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
Well, you start your day off with a good meal at Gregory's Original in the Park Lane Plaza. This year, make it your commitment to support locally owned businesses and locally owned restaurants, such as Gregory's. Gregory does such a great job over there. Serves up perfectly cooked burgers. And got a great pasta plate. Everybody loves their spaghetti. The grinders are delicious steaks, delicious sandwiches, fresh garden salad. Make one stop, or you can go to the salad bar several times. It's whatever you want, one trip or several trips. You'll be hooked once you have a meal at Gregory's. A lot of folks I see over there quite often. Call on Gregory's for any catering event you might have as well. 287-2171, 287-2171. From elaborate to simple, they can make any occasion the perfect event. Choose Gregory's for lunch today or dinner tonight. Open Monday through Friday, 11 to 9, Saturdays 4 to 9. They're located in the Park Lane Plaza, Rutherfordton. I don't know about you, but whenever I hear someone call coffee a cup of Joe, I can't help but think, who is Joe? Did he discover the coffee bean or something? Did no one other name sound good? Could he not have been Coffee Jim or Bob? Although these were pretty decent guesses, here's a story of the real reason coffee called a cup of Joe and how this nickname came to be. Josephus Daniel, Joe for short, was the 41st Secretary of the Navy, and a strict one for that matter. In 1914, he banned the consumption of alcohol on all U.S. Navy ships. So coffee became the next strongest drink that a sailor could get his hands on and became the clean substitute for booze. The sailors started to sarcastically call coffee a cup of Josephus Daniels, which eventually got shortened down to a cup of Joe. And such the name stuck. You may call it a cup of Joe, Java, or even brain juice, but coffee is the only thing that gets us up in the morning, and we can call it a cup of Joe. I've heard that many, many times. We use that a lot in the Air Force as well. Cup of Joe, that's where the name came from. Here's to you.
You know, when you need a plumber, you want someone with a reputation of getting right out to you and getting the job done for you the right way. That'll be Olmsted Plumbing. Since 1973, the Olmsted family has been serving homeowners and builders with the best of service. From unclogging a drain to replacing fixtures and appliances to remodeling jobs, their top quality work, fair prices, and punctual service has made them the area's leading plumbing firm. Eric and Chad are continuing that family tradition, and they'd like to serve you. Call 245-7302. Experience plus equipment equals excellence. Olmsted Plumbing at 245-7302. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. Well, they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Theron Watts of Ellenboro. Theron turns 88 today. He's our Be Kind To person today. Also celebrating is Charlie Waters of Rutherfordton. Kaylin Ramsey, birthday was yesterday, turned 9 years old yesterday. Bubba Rumfeld is 37 over in Forest City. Janie Flack of Green Hill, she's having a birthday today. Also on the 15th, let's see who else is celebrating. Earl Joe Weiss is celebrating, and of course Martin Luther King. Birthday would have been today had he survived. We wish everybody a great old big happy. We'll find out who's going to win the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in just a moment. Hazel Early of Forest City turns 84 today, so happy birthday to Hazel.
Most of us have heard of Murphy's Law. If anything can go wrong, it will. But there are others. Here are a few. Negative expectations yield negative results. Positive expectations yield negative results. The other line always moves faster. The chance of the bread falling with the buttered side down is directly proportional to the cost of the carpet. When in doubt, mumble. Inside every large problem is a small problem struggling to get out. There were two turtles crossing a busy freeway. The first turtle stayed on his course, believing that despite all the obstacles he had to overcome, despite not knowing what was coming next, he would make it to the other side. He refused to be guided by Murphy's Law. He knew things could be better. The second turtle became frightened halfway across the road and retreated into his shell, saying, "I knew all along I wouldn't make it. I never should have started this journey. If something can go wrong, it will. I'm finished." And his prophecy was self-fulfilling. Do you sometimes live your life like that? Are you fearful to make a move because you are afraid it will be the wrong move or that something bad will happen? God calls us to stay the course, to keep the faith even when times are difficult. God wants us to stay out of our shells so that we might experience victory. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
We also want to wish Rita Everett happy birthday, 85 today. Got in too late for the drawing, but we do want to wish her a happy birthday. And the De La Donuts winner was Jamie Flack of Green Hill. Jamie Flack, she is the now recipient, or will be when she picks up the certificate here, of the De La Donuts from Granny B's. Jamie Flack, congratulations. Now coming up next hour, we normally would have the job market report, but they're closed on this Martin Luther King Jr. birthday. But at 8:30 this morning is continuation of the Word of Faith Fellowship program. Word of Faith Speaks Out. We'll have them in at 8:30 this morning to continue talking about the accusations against them. Associated Press has been writing a lot of stories accusing them of a lot of things, so they're now facing those and telling you the truth from their side. That's 8:30 this morning here on WCAB.
Oh, yes, I'm the great pretender. Pretending that I'm doing well. My need is such, I pretend too much. I'm lonely, but no one can tell. Whoa, yes, I'm the great pretender. Adrift in a world of my own. I play the game, but to my real shame, you've left me to dream all alone. Too real is this feeling of make-believe. Too real when I feel what my heart can't conceal. Yes, I'm the great pretender. Just laughing and gay like a clown. I seem to be what I'm not. You see, I'm wearing my heart like a crown. Pretending that you're still around. Too real is this feeling of make-believe. Too real when I feel what my heart can't conceive. Yes, I'm the great pretender.
NCN News. I am Mike Rayleigh. Snow is possible from the mountains to the central part of the state on Tuesday night into Wednesday morning as two systems collide. James Morrow is a meteorologist for the National Weather Service in Raleigh.
It's going to probably start as a mixture of rain and snow overnight, early morning Wednesday, before transitioning to mostly snow. And we're looking right now anywhere from 1 to 2 inches in parts of the triad, with the triangle seeing more of that 1 inch amount.
President Trump spoke briefly last night with reporters outside of Trump International Golf Course in Florida, flanked by House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, with whom he was about to have dinner. The president answered questions on topics ranging from DACA to Hawaii's recent false alarm regarding North Korea.
We're going to see what happens with North Korea. We have great talks going on. The Olympics you know about. A lot of things can happen.
Tragedy averted in the Tampa Bay area. A fire broke out on a shuttle boat that takes passengers to and from the Tropical Breeze casino cruise. Thankfully, all 50 passengers made it to shore safely, says Port Richey Police Chief Jerry Cadeno, who tells us
he brought it closer to shore, actually almost beaching the boat, so to speak, and the water was very shallow, and the people were able to jump off into the water and actually walk ashore.
Award-winning Curtis Media Group broadcaster and executive Lisa McKay has passed away. She died on Sunday after a brief battle with cancer. No funeral plans have been announced. A Florida man has donated 5 undeveloped home sites that will be added to the Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina. The Asheville Citizen-Times reports a 21-acre property known as Woodfin Creek Headwaters was donated to the Conservation Trust for North Carolina. Florida resident John Skelho donated the property. You're listening to NCN News.
Do you want the latest insider news and information for your favorite college sports team? Subscribe now to the ACC Sports Journal magazines. Our ACC Sports Journal magazines are filled with extensive detail on each team for football, basketball, and recruiting. It's a must-buy for every fan of the Tar Heels, Blue Devils, Wolfpack, Demon Deacons, and the rest of the ACC. Subscribe now and save 40% off the cover price. That's a full year's subscription for just $24. Be sure to subscribe now to receive our 2018 ACC Basketball Recruiting Guide. As a subscriber, you'll get your copy before it hits the newsstands. Ordering is fast and easy too. Just go to ACCSports.com right now and click on the big yellow Subscribe Now button. Don't miss out on this offer. Go to ACCSports.com now and click on the Subscribe Now button.
The president is planning to hand out fake news awards this Wednesday, but right before that, a Republican critic says he'll give a speech.
Senator Jeff Flake, a frequent critic of Mr. Trump, plans to take to the Senate floor to denounce what he'll call the president's unrelenting daily assault on the constitutionally protected free press, comparing Mr. Trump's abuse of the news media to Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin's. The Arizona Republican retires after this year. This is a first, but likely not the last parting shot at a president Flake accuses of damaging his party and his country. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
A North Carolina man is dead after being shot by police responding to a call for help in a domestic assault. The officers shot and killed the man in Huntersville after they said he was holding a gun in a threatening way. The man was hit by several rounds and died at the scene. Officials haven't identified him. Congressional elections are still some 11 months away, but some are already looking ahead and expecting some major shifts. Pollster Tom Jensen with Public Policy Polling says he is watching some key seats.
We've polled 36 Republican-held House districts over the last 3 months. Democrats were leading in 25 out of those 36 districts, which, if that actually held and Democrats didn't lose any of the districts that they currently hold, that would give them control of the House.
A French movie star backtracks on Me Too.
Catherine Deneuve is apologizing after she joined 99 other French women in signing a letter claiming men are being unfairly accused of sexual misconduct. In today's statement published in the French newspaper Libération, the actress apologizes to victims of what she calls odious acts of sexual abuse. Deneuve is also calling for justice against proven abusers, but continues to defend her view that men are becoming victims of a media lynching. Deneuve points to her public backing of legalized abortion in France as proof of her feminist credentials.
Mike Rayleigh.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB sales department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen.
Two Republican senators now coming to President Trump's defense over allegations that he used a profane term to describe Haiti and African nations during an immigration meeting last week.
Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas initially said he didn't remember President Trump's language. Well, by the time he spoke to ABC's George Stephanopoulos Sunday, something had jogged his memory.
I'm telling you did not use that word, George, and I'm telling you it's a gross misrepresentation.
And one important person seemed to be listening.
Did you see what various senators in the room said about my comments?
President Trump now directly contradicting Democrat Dick Durbin, who was also in the room. Republican Jeff Flake was not, but apparently heard from his colleagues directly afterward.
I heard that account before the account even went public.
Saying yes, that's what the president said. Brad Wilkie, ABC News.
While the debate over the fate of DACA continues in Washington, those so-called dreamers will be able to line up for renewals this week.
This is Jim Ryan. The on-again, off-again DACA program has thrown the lives of so-called dreamers like Diana Plottis of Houston into turmoil.
Even though I wasn't born here, I consider myself American.
Now she and millions of others are feeling a new sense of urgency.
The time to do your renewal is now,
says immigration specialist Cesar Espinosa.
Do not wait for next week. Do not wait for next month.
A judge has ordered the administration to restart the program, but President Trump tweeted yesterday that DACA is probably dead. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Fallout continues over that false missile alert message sent out Saturday in Hawaii. That sent people scrambling for 38 minutes. Retired Marine Colonel and ABC News consultant Steve Ganyard says this was a system-wide failure.
The way this alert went out, they basically said, you're all dead in 15 minutes and left it at that. What we should have seen was some automated messages. Tell people where to go, what to do, what's the state plan. That was the real failure in this incident.
The employee who accidentally sent out that alert and hit the button has been reassigned. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. With a call to National Tax Helpline, you can stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens now. Once you've qualified and enrolled, the IRS will stop all the collection activities against you. These unique programs have been allocated to help the economy and significantly reduce or eliminate your tax burden. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, call now for free information and to see if you qualify. Take down the number now for the Tax Helpline, 800-805-1055. That's 800-805-1055 for free information. 800-805-1055. That's 800-805-1055.
Winter's wrath once again gripping the Northeast from Maine to Connecticut. Another round of brutal sub-freezing temperatures creating dangerous conditions. In Kent, Connecticut, conditions known as ice jams have caused major disruptions. ABC's Ariel Rushup is there.
In the Northeast, towns flooded as frozen rivers melt, leaving massive clusters of ice, so-called ice jams, piling up. In Swanton, Vermont, widespread flooding from the Missisquoi River, bringing that town to a standstill. And in Hallowell, Maine, the Kennebec River flooding within minutes, saturating cars and stranding residents. Elderly residents in Athol, Massachusetts evacuated as the frigid waters rose.
In California, a candlelight vigil was held last night for victims of those deadly mudslides. 20 people now have been killed. 4 remain missing. One Montecito resident says it's tough, but the community is pulling together.
Bringing tears to my eyes to think that these people have lost within a moment's time, and to be searching, and it's just horrible.
Crews continue that search, and they're trying to clear the miles of mud and debris. It's being called the miracle in Minneapolis during the final play of Sunday's playoff game between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Vikings wide receiver Stephon Diggs with an amazing 61-yard touchdown. That show-stopping play sending the Vikings to the NFC Championship game. This is ABC News.
A good night's sleep starts with the right pillow. That's where MyPillow comes in, and we're excited to announce the MyPillow Buy One Get One offer is back. Purchase any MyPillow premium bed pillow and get the second bed pillow absolutely free. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Buy One Get One free tab, and take advantage of this limited time offer. Use promo code SKY at checkout or call 1-800-635-1825. That's MyPillow.com, click on the Buy One Get One free tab, use promo code SKY at checkout.
North Carolina Tractor Supply, your Massey Ferguson dealer in Rutherfordton, has some really great ideas this year. This could be the year for you to get that Massey Ferguson you've been wanting. Stop by today and see what Massey Ferguson and Phil Sheehan at North Carolina Tractor Supply have for you. Check to see if you qualify for 0% financing. Today could be your day at North Carolina Tractor Supply, Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton.
High pressure over the area today should leave us with mostly sunny to sunny skies. Temperatures not quite as cold as yesterday, but still quite chilly with highs around 36 to 41. Overnight tonight, we'll have mostly clear skies and light winds. It'll be cold, lows dropping into the upper teens to low 20s. Then on Tuesday, we'll start the day mostly sunny early on, turning partly to mostly cloudy through the afternoon. A little warmer tomorrow with a south to southwest breeze and highs 44 to 49. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
It's 18 degrees right now. Mostly sunny today is our forecast. Highs around 40 with that wind chill value as low as 17. About where we are right now is how it's going to feel the rest of the day due to the wind. Then tonight mostly clear, lows around 23. Tuesday night, that's when they tell us we may get something going on. The weather may change altogether. There is a chance of rain and snow Tuesday night. New snow accumulations, they're telling us less than half of an inch possible in our area, more than that, surrounding areas. Then Wednesday morning, it may continue for a little bit, highs around 32, wind chill value as low as 14, wind gusting to 18 miles per hour Wednesday morning. But cheer up, my good neighbors and friends. By Friday, it's going to be nice. Mostly sunny Friday with highs around 51. Saturday, mostly sunny, highs around 56. It warms up to 60 on Sunday of this coming week. Partly cloudy and 60 degrees on Sunday. So if we do get any snow at all in this amount, it's going to melt out pretty quickly because the temperatures are going to rise up above it. 18 degrees right now. This weather brought to you by NC Tractor of Rutherfordton. 7 minutes after 8 o'clock. Hey, we got some dates open for you to fill in for the Be Kind To for the month of, this is January, right, Lou? Yep, January, we got open dates like January the 17th, the 19th, 20th, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 27th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. Those are the open dates this month for the Be Kind To. So, if you would like to flog one of those, a flag, I should say flag instead of flog, flag one of those, and want to call your birthday or anniversary, and do that right now. Lou's standing by up there. She loves to fill the Be Kind To, so you can help her do that if you'll call those dates in. Again, let me tell you, 17, 19, 20, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 27th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. Virtually the rest of the month is open for the Be Kind To calendar. So get yours called in right now, 287-3356. We cleared the phone lines for you. Let me remind you again, Ken Dorsey of Washington Dorsey Funeral Home and Mike Mahan's Funeral Home and Pageant King Funeral Home is sponsoring the movie called Honor Flight tomorrow at 1 o'clock over at the cinema. Follow the story of 4 World War II veterans as they make their trip to see the memorial in Washington, D.C., World War II monument. 1 o'clock starts, 1 o'clock, and Ken tells me there'll be free popcorn and free drinks for all who attend, but they'd like to know if you're coming, if you can call either Washington Dorsey or Pageant King and Back Band, so sponsors of this, let them know if you're coming, how many's coming. If you got a veterans group that wants to come, that'd be great, because they're doing this one-time showing tomorrow at 1 o'clock. This morning at 8:30, of course, it's the continuing series of programs called Word of Faith Speaks Out. And that's 8:30 this morning live here in the studio. Right now, let's do this.
Another question for the Tax Fact Street Team. Hey, IRS, is the fire we had in our kitchen a deductible loss?
I'll tell you after this. New tax laws cause many taxpayers to lose hundreds or even thousands of dollars in refunds because they or their preparer did not know the changes, and the IRS likes it that way. But there is help available. At Central Tax Service, they will get you the biggest and fastest refund allowed by the IRS, guaranteed. Do yourself and not the government a favor. favor. Go see Roger Jolly at Central Tax Service at 542 Oak Street in Forest City, or call them at 245-0557. With a bigger and faster refund, you will be glad you did.
Losses in property value from unexpected events like hurricanes, fires, and floods are deductible. Even losses due to theft can qualify. Victims in federal disaster areas might even get a faster refund.
Questions? Go to irs.gov.
Washburn Dorsey Funeral Home, along with McMahon's Funeral Home and Paget and King Mortuary, invite you to a free screening of the movie Honor Flight, a documentary depicting the travel of 4 World War II veterans to the nation's capital to the World War II Veterans Memorial. The movie will be shown at 1 o'clock Tuesday, January 16th at the Retro Cinema 4 in Forest City. To reserve your seat for you and a guest, please call one of the sponsoring funeral homes during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, or with any questions concerning the showing of the movie Honor Flight.
And free popcorn and drinks during that showing as well, according to Kent Dorsey. So make your plans to attend that tomorrow, if at all possible. It's 11 minutes after 8 o'clock. Some news from here and there this morning. What was bad news turned out a few days later to be good news. Touchstone Cabinetry first told their employees they were closing Touchstone Fine Cabinetry in Rutherfordton and eliminating over 60 jobs. But Mark Bellissimo, the CEO of the Rutherfordton-based modular manufacturing plant United States Precision Construction and Tryon International Equestrian Center, stepped up, and he announced that his partnership has contracted to purchase the company with the goals of keeping remaining employees' jobs intact. Employees learned the news Friday morning during a meeting at the plant. Ownership change is slated for Friday, January the 26th. So the Touchstone Cabinetry will continue to function under a different name, and those 60 employees will supposedly keep their jobs. Harris Elementary School Principal Don Engel is retiring from Rutherford County Schools effective March 1st. He has 30 years of service to the school system. He says that's enough. He's moving on, and more than 10 years as Harris Principal. Superintendent Dr. Janet Mason announced that Keith Ezel, currently principal at Mount Vernon Ruth Elementary School, has been named principal at Harris Elementary School. 3 people were displaced Friday morning after a fire destroyed their single-wide mobile home off Avondale Landfill Road in Caroline. Approximately 9:45 Friday, 2 women in the house were treated at the scene by Rutherford County EMS. And everybody seems to be fine, though. Some smoke inhalation. They were transported to the hospital. The cause of the fire is under investigation by the county fire marshal and the Sandy Mush fire chief, Jimmy Walls. Walls and his department, along with firefighters from the SDO and Cliffside, responded to the fire, and upon arrival, flames were showing. So also the American Red Cross responded to the scene and assisted with the family's immediate needs. Grand jury returns murder indictments from the 2016 shooting. Timothy Earl Powell, 54, of Cleveland County, has been indicted for murder in the shooting death of his sister, Deborah Powell Hoyle, in September 2016. The Rutherford County grand jury indicted Powell and also returned 29 other true indictments when the jury met on Wednesday morning. Those grand jury makes the decision on if the trial goes forward or not, and that one is one of the ones they said take it to court. Well, it sounds like we may be, at least they're tempting us with this. GoUpstate.com has said a slight chance of snow Tuesday night could lead to some slick spots on upstate roads. National Weather Service forecast showed a 40% chance of light snow across the area for a brief time Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning. It's one we've been talking about. We'll keep watching that for you. Doug Outlaw, a meteorologist at Greenville-Spartanburg International Airport, said the upstate likely won't see much precipitation, but what does fall could cause some headaches on the roadways. He says it's not a big chance at all. It's certainly going to be a better chance up north in the Hickory and Statesville area. There certainly could be some slick spots on the road there. The best chance for precipitation would be at around midnight. By sunrise Wednesday, the area should be dry again. LO said since the forecast calls for snow and not sleet, any road concerns wouldn't be widespread. Since it's going to be in the form of snow, it shouldn't be a widespread problem, he said, just possibility of some slick spots. Well, John Wilson of Rutherfordton was sentenced to 9 years minimum to 11 years 10 months Thursday for 2 second-degree murder and 1 felony for causing serious injury by vehicle. Wilson was held responsible for the death of a teenage boy and a 22-year-old woman killed in a car crash in 2015 on Cox Road outside of Rutherfordton, and the serious injury of his front seat passenger. Wilson, the impaired driver of the car, was traveling west at a high rate of speed when he lost control of the car, struck 2 trees, and the car spun around. Adam Stott, 17, and Brittany Shell, 22, both of Forest City, were riding in the back seat of a 2008 Mitsubishi and were ejected from the car. The North Carolina Highway Patrol reported the cousins were not wearing seatbelts. Shell died at the scene. Stott was DOA at Mission Hospital in Asheville. The front seat passenger, Matthew McGinnis, then 31, of Rutherfordton, was critically injured. Wilson sustained minor injuries. 16 minutes after 8 o'clock, that sheriff's report coming up here in just a few moments. But the Polk County Sheriff's Office arrested a murder suspect out of Spartanburg Friday afternoon after spotting him at the Food Lion parking lot in Columbus. Patrick James Coggins, 23, of Landrum, was taken into custody by Polk deputies on a fugitive warrant. The Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office has warrants on Coggins for murder and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. At approximately 1:45 p.m. January the 12th, numerous Spartanburg County deputies responded to California Avenue, Spartanburg, in regards to a reported shooting. According to the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office, when deputies arrived, they found a male victim who had been shot several times. The victim was transported by EMS to the hospital, where he later died. At the residence, a female witness gave deputies an account of the incident and a suspect's name and description of his vehicle. Spartanburg County sent out a local and regional broadcast of all area law enforcement, and the Polk County Sheriff's Office spotted the suspect's vehicle in a grocery store parking lot, according to the report. Captain B.J. Bain with the Polk County Sheriff's Office said she and Captain Lowell Griffin canvassed the area following the alert from Spartanburg County and saw the black Ford Ranger at Food Line at approximately 4:15 p.m. Bain said there was significant damage to the vehicle, which was part of the description. Bain said Polk asked Columbus and Tryon police departments for assistance to help with the arrest. Polk, Columbus, and Tryon took Coggins into custody without incident. Coggins will be held in Polk County custody until next week, when he is expected to be extradited to Spartanburg County to face the murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime charges. The victim's name will be disclosed later. 18 minutes after 8 o'clock here on WCAB's Morning Wake-Up Call, hour number 3. News from here and there as reported and comments. Right now we'll have the sheriff's report coming up in just a moment with Deputy Inslee reporting right after this. Have you heard the 3 big lies about Medicaid eligibility? First, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your house. That's not true. Second, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. That's not true. And third, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. That's not true. Please call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Ken Pullman, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm for a free consultation and learn the truth about Medicaid and eligibility and nursing home care in North Carolina. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify and not lose everything you own. Call the Arledge Law Firm today at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherfordton. Again, that's 287-3338.
Hello, this is Dwayne Hunt with Insurance Service Associates. Are you on disability? Or maybe you're on Medicare? Or maybe both? Come see me, Dwayne Hunt, at Insurance Service Associates about a Medicare Advantage product brought to you by Humana. Please give me a call, 245-5301 at Insurance Service Associates, 127 East Trade Street, Forest City.
Rutherford Regional Health System now features its walk-in services at Forest City Family Care at 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same great services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients. When you don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly, we hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care.
Hello, this is John Higgins, pharmacist and owner of Smith's Drugs of Forest City. I would like to take this moment to thank all of our customers for their patronage and loyal support over the past year. We look forward to meeting the needs of our customers in everything we do at Smith's Drugs of Forest City. And we're grateful for you and the pleasure we have of serving the residents of Rutherford County. Have a happy and safe New Year from all of us here at Smith's Drugs of Forest City.
Thanks very much, John. Now here is Deputy Inslee with the report from the Sheriff's Department from the weekend.
Past 48 hours, Sheriff's Office has responded to 231 calls, made 15 arrests, and there's currently 197 incarcerated in the jail. On to our incident reports. We have Robert Bowling, Chimney Rock Road, reported larceny of a firearm. Forrest Lynch, O'Neill Road, reported stolen vehicle. Jessica Cogdell of Darlington Road, reported juvenile runaway. Terrell Early, McSwain Road, reported larceny. Neon Limpskin, Sparks Drive, reported recovering items. Bobby Johnson, Hunt Road, reported damage to personal property. David Lawton, Beacon Hill, reported missing person. Ryan Clark, Webb Church Road, reported felony larceny. William Moore, Ellenberry Henrietta Road, reported breaking and entering and larceny after breaking and entering. Keisha Petty, Doggett Grove Road, reported discharged weapon. Brandy Frazier, Murray Street, Henrietta, reported breaking and entering of motor vehicle and larceny after breaking and entering. And Santos Dos, on Cherry Street, reported missing person. And on to our arrest reports. We have Rachel Rumfelt of Lonesome Pine Drive, larceny of motor vehicle. Megan Clark, Harris Henrietta Road, charged with possess Schedule 2. Marilyn Sessoms, Jacobs Lane, reported second-degree trespass. Joshua Gibson, Big Island Road, Territory Peril misdemeanor. Terrell Early, McSwain Road, Territory Peril misdemeanor. Roberto Alvarez, Amity Drive, charged with disorderly conduct and resist arrest. Benny Shelton, McDaniel Street, charged with obtaining property false pretense and felony breaking and entering. Hoyt Collins, Lake Davis Road, charged with violation of domestic protection order. Carpenter Davis, Peppertown Road, charged with failure to apparel misdemeanor. Patricia Collins, Harris Henrietta Road, charged with disorderly conduct and failure to apparel misdemeanor. Christopher Hoyle, Franklin Drive, charged with driving while license revoked, misdemeanor possess Schedule 4, possess drug paraphernalia. Ann Dickey, Malden Way, charged with felony breaking and entering, larceny after breaking and entering, and identity theft. Jordan Fincannon, Church Street, obtained property false pretense. Emily Bryant, US 64, charged with failure to apparel misdemeanor. And the last one, Mary Cohen, North Main Street, Henrietta, charged with safe tracking. That's all I have this morning.
You do a lot. At Northland, we do internet. You do sports. We do internet that makes games easy to stream. You do movies. We do internet that gives you a world of choices. You do family. We do internet that sounds like the real thing. And now you can get speeds up to 100 megs with internet packages starting at $29.99 a month. Call 888-NORTHLAND or visit getnorthland.com today. All rates and tax and fees not available in all areas. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. Actual speeds may vary. See getnorthland.com/offers for full details.
Tired of winter?
I can't stand much more of this.
Hey, we'll keep you warm till springtime arrives. Today's hits and yesterday's memories. Family-friendly AM 590 WCAB.
Coming up, an update on some sports news. We'll check that weather one more time, and then live here in the studio, Word of Faith Fellowship speaks out here in the Blue Room. WCAB, also on Northland Cable Channel 5, and we'll be streaming on the World Wide Web at www.wcab59.com. Stand by.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. NC State's winning streak against top 25 ranked opponents ends at 2. Number 3, Virginia, pushed their winning streak to 8, meanwhile, over NC State with a 68-51 win in Blacksburg. Wolfpack coach Kevin Keats after the loss.
I said in order for us to have a chance to win this game, especially here at UVA, we had to do a great job of sharing the basketball. 7 assists wasn't good enough for us.
Other North Carolina college programs in play Sunday. Davidson drained 15 three-pointers in a 75-45 crushing over Fordham, while Houston easily handled East Carolina 65-49. You didn't have to be a fan of either team to enjoy the closing minutes of yesterday's NFC divisional playoff between the Saints and Vikings. 4 lead changes in the final 3:01 of the fourth quarter. Saints up by 1 until
Stephon Diggs and the Minnesota Vikings have walked off on the New Orleans Saints. It's a 61-yard Minneapolis miracle.
Paul Allen with the call on the Vikings radio network as Case Keenum connected with Stephon Diggs for a 61-yard catch and run.
I don't even know what just happened, man. It's crazy.
The Vikings advance to the NFC Championship games. They take on the Eagles in Philadelphia, and if they win there, they'll be the first team to play the Super Bowl in their home stadium. Meanwhile, the Steelers hosted the Jaguars on Sunday afternoon in the AFC divisional playoff. CBS Sports' Eye on the Eagle called the end of that stunner.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have pulled off the upset of the playoffs. They knock off the Steelers in Pittsburgh 45-42.
Jags QB Blake Bortles told CBS Sports that his team doesn't care, that they're huge underdogs going into New England next week.
I'm just honored to be able to do this, and especially with this group of guys. It's been an awesome year. I want to keep it going.
It's Jacksonville's first AFC title game appearance since 1999, while for the Pats, it's their 7th straight trip to the conference championship. This is NCN Sports.
Who is the North Carolina High School Athletic Association?
We're dedicated educators, coaches, and mentors.
We are over 200,000 student athletes.
We are 413 member high schools from small towns and big cities, anywhere from Murphy to Manteo.
We're your neighbors and friends that put on the striped shirts and officiate the games you love every week.
We are making a difference in building leaders of communities and this nation for the next generation.
Who are we? We are high school. We are the NCHSAA.
A Democrat in the governor's mansion, an unconventional Republican in the White House, new state, House, and Senate election maps, all important factors for politics and public policy in North Carolina. What does it all mean? Carolina Journal has the answers, available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
On the ice last night, the Flames ran their season-best winning streak to 7 games in a 4-1 victory over the Hurricanes.
I didn't think we were engaged in the game, period. I didn't think we skated. I didn't think we had much emotional engagement to the game. I hope it's flu-related. I really do. I thought we looked lethargic.
Phil Kessel snapped a 2-2 tie in the second period and assisted on Sidney Crosby's insurance goal as the Pittsburgh Penguins dumped the New York Rangers 5-2. Goran Dragic scored 25 points. The Miami Heat picked up their season-high 7th straight win, 97-79 against the Bucks. Josh Richardson had 16 points for Miami, which trailed 43-41 before outscoring Milwaukee in the final 16 minutes of the second half. New Orleans outlasted New York 123-118 in overtime. Indiana crushed Phoenix 120-97, and the Timberwolves beat the Trailblazers 120-103. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
High pressure over the area today should leave us with mostly sunny to sunny skies. Temperatures not quite as cold as yesterday, but still quite chilly with highs around 36 to 41. Overnight tonight, we'll have mostly clear skies and light winds. It'll be cold, lows dropping into the upper teens to low 20s. Then on Tuesday, we'll start the day mostly sunny early on, turning partly to mostly cloudy through the afternoon. A little warmer tomorrow with a south to southwest breeze and highs 44 to 49. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
We're currently 18 degrees and mostly sunny today with highs around 40. Wind chill value is about 17, about where we are right now. Now we have the snow brigade out watching, and we'll keep you posted what's going to happen on Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. Right now they'll just experience the cold weather, and by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday it's going to be back up into the 50s and 60s. Right now again, 18 degrees. Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning, everyone. This is Mark Morris with Word of Faith Responds and Speaks Out. I'm here with Carol Reynolds again, and it is so good to be with you this morning. I hope you're enjoying this program as much as we are. We have really enjoyed telling you the truth about our church, and again, we appreciate all of the feedback. We've had a lot of positive feedback from all over the county, and thank you so much. You can learn a lot about our church going to our website. That is wordoffaithfellowship.org. That's wordoffaithfellowship.org. Also, if you have any questions, we haven't mentioned this lately, but we forget sometimes, but you can actually contact us via email at truth@wffnc.org. That's truth@wffnc.org. We welcome your questions, we welcome your comments, so please let us know. Today I have some very special guests with me, Jovell and Asmund Clark. Now, they are going to share with you a very powerful, life-changing testimony today. And if you want to be encouraged today, if you have things you're going through in your life or you know other people that are, then you just stay listening, because you are going to be so encouraged and blessed today by the wonderful, powerful testimony of what God did for this young couple and their son. But before we jump into that, some of you may remember that Jovell Clark was on a recent program, and it's very important for you to know some of the things that he shared about, because actually what he shared about previously is a prelude to what they're going to share about in this miraculous testimony today. And so some of you may have not heard, and what happened was many years ago when Jovell was 17 years old, he was living in Michigan, and he had a lot of struggles in his life. He was actually in a very, very rough town. What was the city?
Saginaw, Michigan.
Saginaw. And so Saginaw apparently had a lot going on there with crime and danger, and so he was getting sucked into some of that, and he was doing drugs, and he was had a real problem with alcohol at age 17 and
16 actually.
16, okay. And there was lots of crime everywhere, and so very bad environment. So his parents were friends with our pastors here at Word of Faith Fellowship, and he came down to visit, and everybody thought it'd be a great idea for him to come to our church to get help. And so he actually came here and stayed with a couple in our church, and they took him in as a son, and he ended up doing great, as he shared last time, and actually just got free from the drugs, got free from the alcohol. God started really transforming his life and was doing so much. Now, when he was 17 and actually almost 18, there was a major attack against our church. A lot of lies started spreading in the media, and there were certain people that were really saying a lot of things that were false about our church. And what happened was some of these people contacted his parents, who were still in Michigan, and started telling them lies. And so his parents got concerned. They came down here and wanted to try to pull him out. And he didn't want to go. He was actually going to be 18 in 1 month. And so at that time, he shared about this last time, and I'm just summarizing this. An officer came, and the officer brought him to the Department of Social Services, Rutherford County, and he was interviewed by one of the social workers there who somehow came up with some unusual diagnosis, I guess you could say, and that was that he was in a cult, Word of Faith Fellowship. She didn't know us, didn't know our church, didn't talk to our pastors, but she came up with this. And so he was actually sent, really against his will, but because he was still 17, he was sent to somebody who was labeled as a deprogrammer. Okay, deprogram, meaning these people that try to help people who are involved in cult brainwashing and so forth. And so this person, Mary Chronologer, was the one he went to, didn't want to go. And you know, the whole goal of these people is to get you a cult. Well, the problem was Jovel was not in a cult, and he knew he wasn't. He was somewhere where he was learning about Jesus, and he was learning about the Bible. So these people, Mary Chronologer and the deprogrammers, that she was affiliated with Wellsprings, and she had her brother and her nephew at this location, and they tried so hard to play these videos and keep him up all night. They actually didn't let him sleep for periods of time, and just repeatedly had all these videos on Jim, who was Jim Jones. Jim Jones. Some of these people that we know were cults, and he didn't see any connection with Word of Faith Fellowship, and they weren't getting anywhere, folks, and they actually started getting violent with him, and physically, because he just wouldn't do what they want to. So finally, he let his dad know, who was still in Michigan, what was really going on, and where he was really abused was at this deprogramming. So his dad actually saw what was going on and came and got him, brought him to Michigan, and you know what happened? He turned 18, and he did talk with his parents, and he said, "Look, God's done so much in my life, and I know it's the will of God for me to be at Word of Faith Fellowship." And actually, one of the things you said was that your wife, you knew God said your wife was there. Of course, he was at that time. He didn't have a wife or even a friendship, right?
Just a senior high school. We weren't dating or anything.
Okay.
And, the main thing I knew that God had put in my heart was I was supposed to come down here, go to school, get my education, start a family, and that was going to happen.
Okay, and so his parents eventually, they were fine with that, and he came down here, and actually what happened was eventually his parents really understood what happened, and they repented and asked forgiveness, and actually they come down and visit now, and he has a great relationship with them. So one of the things that you see through this amazing young man here, that at the age of 17, he had a fight in his heart for being in the will of God. He knew that God actually spoke to him and told him to be right where God wanted him to be at this church, because that was part of the plan that God had for him. And one of the things that we have so seen in our church is it's so clear that God has a plan for every single person. It actually says in Ephesians that before you were ever born, God has a plan. When David wrote in Psalms 139, he said that all of the days of his life were written in God's book. That's really amazing to think about. Whoever you are out there listening, all of your days are written in God's book, and he has a plan for you. Each page of that book has a plan. And so we also know in the Bible it's very clear that the devil has a plan. We know the devil was kicked out of heaven. Revelations is very clear that the devil was kicked out of heaven, and the devil came here, and the devil's time is short, and the devil has a plan, and it says in John 10:10 that his plan is actually to kill, steal, and destroy. And that's what he wants to do. And so he wants us to get on his path, which is to destroy us, to make our life miserable and sad. And so there is a constant fight that we all have. Every single person. It's very clear in 1 Peter that we all have an enemy. That's what it says in 1 Peter. It says we all have an enemy, and he roams around the earth like a lion, roaring, seeking who he may devour. And so we have two plans. We have the devil's plan and we have God's plan, and we have to choose God's plan every single day. And it is a fight because the devil's out there to try to get us on the wrong plan. And I want you to see how clear it is as you're going to listen to Jovel and Jasmine. I want you to think about that, because, and you can think about it in your own life, because we know that every single day we need to make that choice, that we want to be on God's path for our life. But it is a fight. It is a fight, and we have a real enemy, and the enemy is not in the flesh, because the Bible very clearly says that we're not battling against flesh and blood, but we're battling against spiritual powers. And so it says in Timothy that we have a good fight. It said, fight the good fight of faith and lay hold of eternal life. And so this young man, Jovel, he fought. When he was 17, he fought the good fight of faith to be exactly where God wanted him to be. And you're going to hear today why that was so important in his life, because what you're going to hear today is another battle that he went through. And it was so important that he was exactly where God wanted him to be. And really, this was even a greater battle than before, because you're going to hear how the devil came in and tried to destroy their son's life, and how they stood together, him and his wife, and they fought for the will of God. Jovel and Jasmine?
Thank you again for having me, and it's a pleasure to have my wife with me this time on the air. I just want to emphasize one fact, how, you know, at age 17, I knew what God had for me, and I know you touched on it, but even more so, the fact that, you know, there's been a lies about you can't leave the word of faith. You can't, you know, they control you, and I want everyone to understand at age 17, and then when I turned 18, I was in Michigan. I could have stayed there, but because I knew what was ahead of me, I knew that this was God's place for me, and no one had to tell me that. No one revealed to me that, you know, Jovel, you know, it's the will of God for you to be in here, you're going to get married here. No man told me that. No man told me that I was going to get my education in North Carolina. That was something that God put in my heart. And so I was going to act and obey on that, no matter what was said, even though other family members didn't agree, even though I was labeled as a cult and people just thought I was weird. That didn't matter. Only thing that mattered was that I was going to serve God and do God's will. So at 18, I came back, and I'm going to kind of skip through a lot of parts of my life. I came back, I finished high school, graduated with honors, along with my wife. We actually were in the same graduating class. And started school a little bit, and I kind of stopped because I wanted to work and earn some money. And so my wife and I, we got married April 25th, 2008, so it's almost 10 years. It's kind of hard to believe. But, you know, God has so much for us. So I think it was... my son was born December 8th, 2010. God had spoken to us that we were supposed to have a child. And of course, us growing up and my last part of my years, as far as teenage years, being here in Word of Faith, I wanted my son to be in this Christian school. And so, and God, you know, we put in our hearts we were going to raise him here and go to a really good school. So, December 8th, he was born, and the first fight that we had to come across, the fact that he was born 8 weeks early. My wife had some complications with the pregnancy, and thanks to God, that was the only thing that was wrong with him. He was in the NICU for maybe only 2 weeks, but the only thing that was wrong with him that he was just born early. You know, his lungs were fully developed. Nothing was wrong with him, and so, you know, at first we thought it was a scare for us, but ended up being just a blessing, you know. And even the staff at the hospital in Levine, they saw that it was just a miracle to see, just even though he's born early but no complications. So that in itself, we knew that God's hand was on his life. But he came home, and one thing that we knew about our son was that he was going to be a preacher. We knew that he was going to be a strong child of God, and that he was going to be a testimony some way, somehow. And so my wife loves telling this story. The day of his dedication, he was handed a Bible, and we had the ceremony. And he's only 2 weeks old. He grabs his Bible, holds it in his hand. You know, now what kind of fine motor skills is that for a little infant, you know? So he grabs the Bible and he actually opens it up. You know, and our pastor said right there, he is going to be a preacher. And so we just cried, and we knew that, you know, God had something special for him. Little did we know. So everything was going great. He was growing fine. It seemed like he was very intelligent for his age. I know every parent probably believes that about their child, but we really saw, seeing him look like he was growing and just so smart, just learning so fast. But we realized little things going on with him towards when he's becoming 10 months old, and it was things that we, I guess a parent and natural wouldn't really see what was wrong with him. They would just think he was being an infant. Braylon never cried. And we realized when it came to certain things, changing his diaper, things of that sort, he would scream. He wasn't sleeping in the middle of the night. And that was not like Braylon. It was very strange and very odd. And so we started seeing that this was going on repeatedly. And the first sign that we noticed what was wrong was he had a little dark mark above his eyelid. It was like a little dot, looked like a dot of ink, and next thing you know, it faded away just a couple days later. And then all of a sudden, on his right eye, the side of his head started bulging out. So we had taken him back and forth to the Shelby's clinic constantly just to see what's going on. They couldn't find anything wrong. They thought it was maybe an ear infection because he had one, but nothing severe. And as time went on, he started vomiting a whole lot more. So this went on for a period of 6 weeks. We literally took him to the doctor every week. And right before he had gotten really sick, I had taken him 2 times that week. So fast forward a little bit, the bump had gotten bigger on the side of his head, and his eyes started protruding outward. And we took him to the eye, ear, nose, and throat. We got a referral, and so God sent this woman. Her name is Dr. Gilly. As soon as she walked in, she saw my son. She said, "I don't like what I see." She said, "I want the fastest MRI, I want the fastest CT scan, and I want the oncologist on the phone." Now, I didn't know anything about oncologists, what that meant, but from there we knew something was serious.
And it was really a miracle because at that time, Braylon, I could see that in that there was always something there to keep us from the devil was always there to try to stop us from getting the help that he needed. We walked into the ENT doctor, and they told me we didn't have an appointment. And I didn't realize this at that time, but if Braylon, I found out later on, but if Braylon had not gotten seen that day, he would have died. He wouldn't have made it through the weekend. And so, I just stood there, and I just started crying out to God, and I looked at the lady, and I just heard clearly God say, "Tell her you just got off work, you can't reschedule." So I did that. It was right at lunchtime. The doctor was going to lunch, and God just just moved mountains for us, and she saw us. We were a new patient. It was a miracle for her to see us at that time, but she did. And I could tell she was trying to be real. She didn't want to alarm us, too early. So she didn't tell us exactly what she thought, but she did tell us she felt like it was either infection behind his eye or that he had mass. And when I heard that, all this fear and all these things can come at your mind, and your mind just starts racing, and how could that be? And so I just heard God clearly say, just out of the blue, Braylon is going to be okay. And it's like a peace came on me when I heard God say that. And they sent us to Charlotte for an MRI, and through a series of events, we found out that Braylon the doctor came in the room and said, Braylon has cancer. And again, all that fear and all that stuff tried to come back, and I said, God, I thought you said he was going to be okay. And all I heard was, I did. And that peace came right back. And I knew, at that point, God was going to show himself to us. He was going to make himself real to us. I didn't know what was going to happen, how we were going to get through it, but, we serve a God that we can trust and depend on, and that he can do anything. And, I heard clearly, I did, and that's all I needed to hear at that time.
So this was, I think, when was this? October 7th,
yes.
October 7th, 2011. So Braylon hadn't even turned 1 yet, and we remember. It's amazing, like my wife said. The devil fights so hard to stop us from doing the will of God. We remember when my son was on the hospital bed. By this time, they had put him on fluids, and so we were waiting for the biopsy to come back to see how bad the cancer was, and to confirm what cancer they had diagnosed with. It was neuroblastoma, and it's a cancer of the nerve. So, you know, there was one doctor that kept wanting to procrastinate and not start treatment right away. And so all doctors agreed that it was cancer, but one particular doctor wanted to wait. And so my wife and I, we said, why wait? Start treatment now. I mean, we don't need to know how bad it is. I mean, it's bad enough, but let's start treatment. And so this doctor was so obstinate, but, you know, God has a way of working things out. And so the head doctor that we have now, she's the one, she was in agreement with us, and she said, okay, let's start. It said, you know, we'll start the strong chemotherapy. We don't know how bad it is, but we'll start him on the strong treatment, and if it's not as bad, we'll back off. Lo and behold, what came out, our son was high amplitude diagnosis. In other words, his cancer was really bad. You know, there's 2 stages of it, and he was he had stage 4. It was all within his bone marrow. He had a mass in his abdomen and one behind his right eye. And if you could picture a 10-month-old baby, the mass was the size of a baseball in his abdomen. And on the scan, it showed that our doctor said that it had metastasized into his liver. So we, you know, again, that devil was right there. We were, you know, almost feeling devastated, but we knew, you know, our pastor had put it in us, always have faith. Don't give up. You know, don't believe that devil for 1 second. And so from there, you know, that's all we could do. And so after a series of, you know, several treatments, we're going on and off for 3 weeks at a time. Eventually around a year had passed by, and we were getting close to the end of one of his protocol treatments. But before that, you know, he had a stem cell transplant because after all the chemotherapy and everything, you know, it destroys the stem cells. So I remember particularly, now again, the devil's always right there to try to stop the will of God and to stop things. And my son had to have a blood transfusion, because of the blood that was taken. And if you know anything about a stem cell transplant, they take the stem cells out, they centrifuge it, they take the stem cells but put the blood cells and plasma back into you. Well, when they were setting up for the transfusion, I saw them start the transfusion. It was the Red Cross, actually, and it started going into my son, and I saw that blood come from that tube and go into my son's neck. And all of a sudden they said, wait, stop. Come to find out, they had the wrong blood type. That could have killed my son. They could have killed my son. And so they stopped everything, and they switched it out. And you know, I asked the lady, I saw it with my own eyes, but I asked her just to assure. I said, did that blood get into my son? Of course, she denied it. But doctors met and everything, and so they kept on with the process. But you know, God has His way. So we did fine with the transplant, and a couple months later, towards the end of his the protocol, Braylon was actually free of cancer, and we were getting ready to go in, I think, for the last MRI. And so, I mean, we were just rejoicing. His hair was coming back. He was looking healthy. And my wife had gone to the hospital with my son for the checkup. And from that, little did we know what was going to happen next.
Well, he, you know, God had been preparing me. You know, we have a church that prays, and we pray strong. And you know, through all of this, you know, our church had been in strong prayer. Braylon, we had a whole service where we took the whole service and prayed strong prayer for Braylon. And we know that through all of this, you know, we'd have challenges we'd come up against. We'd have, you know, things that would cause us to, you know, to backtrack, or, you know, but we knew that was the prayer that was keeping him, you know, and just the encouragement, you know, from the ministers here. And I don't know anywhere else where we would have found that, and to be able to make it through this. And, you know, as we had been, you know, coming up to this point, and we'd been mentally preparing ourselves that we were getting ready to be at the end of this battle, and, you know, everything was just going to be behind us. And, you know, but God started speaking to me. You know, I started reading about Joseph, and, you know, just different things about, you know, when you go through a battle, there's always going to be a test. You know, we knew what God had said. God had spoken to us. God had spoken to the ministers in the church that Braylon was going to be healed. And So we knew that what God had said, but God had spoken to me, with God's promise, there's always a battle. There's always a test to your faith. And so we found out that day that Braylon had relapsed in the brain. We'd been told that if you relapse in the brain, there's no treatment. There's nothing they can do. We'd been told that time and time again. And when they came in there and told me, he's got another tumor that has developed in his brain, I remember, thinking, God, that must not be true, because you spoke to us that he was going to be healed. And then so we go and do another series of battles, and then at this time I'm battling doctors, doctors telling me left and right, he's not going to make it. This is, you've got 6 months, you've got, then this was being thrown at me left and right. But, just standing on God's word and what God said, that kept us through that, just knowing, this is what God said, this is what God has confirmed to my husband and I. This is what God has confirmed to our church. God spoke to us as a church. Braylon's going to be healed, and we fought as a church for his healing, and and so God saw us through that. And
there was one particular church service we had, kind of going back a little bit. My wife and I, we had been in the hospital for several days, nonstop, not having any rest. So our pastor, Sammy Jane Whaley, said, you just come on in, we'll send somebody up there to help you, get some rest, and just come to church. And we needed that. But one particular service was powerful. Now, I'll never forget it, because my wife and I, we had gone up to the front of the sanctuary, and our pastors were right there, and they put their hands on us, and next thing you know, the whole church came up and started praying for us. And we started praying that strong prayer. Now, this is that strong prayer that you have been hearing about, that has been quote-unquote abusive, that has, people in this church have left, they continue to blaspheme about. But this prayer, I'm telling you, is what saved my son's life. And I want to emphasize that, because we pray this same prayer over our son all the time, and my son loves it. But we started praying strong, and our pastor prophetically cursed the tumor from the root. Now, I want you to take notice of this. She said, I cursed this tumor from the root. Well, after the series of events and scans had gone on, the actual MRI showed that this tumor was dying from the inside of itself on out. And our doctor was so baffled, and she didn't understand. She said, I cannot believe that this is doing something weird, but this can't, it looks like a donut on the scan. It is dying from the inside on out. And we knew that's what, our pastor had, she really had prophesied. But kind of a little bit further back to, we had a meeting with a doctor, and again, my wife had emphasized that they only had given us 6 months to live, for Braylon to live. And we just knew that was not God, that was not God's way. So, but one thing she emphasized, she said, but I have contacted Sloan Kettering, and this is a hospital in New York, and she said, we really believe, that this is something that Braylon needs to go through. She said, now I cannot offer this to all my patients, but because I see the faith in you, I see the strong support from your church, she said, I really believe you can do this. And so, of course, my wife and I, we knew what God said, and we were going to take any measure to make sure that he was going to be taken care of. And when we get up there, God has his way. I keep emphasizing that God has his way. We met with the doctor, and as bad as it seemed, she said, I really feel like that, we can get Braylon healed. She goes, and she was a God-fearing woman. And one point I want to emphasize here is, as we went through this battle, we met other families, and they had the same diagnosis as Braylon, almost the same tumors in the same exact spot. And one particular couple that we became so close to, this is one of the reasons why my wife and I we almost lost it, so to speak. Their daughter was several treatments ahead of us, and their daughter ended up dying from the very same thing that had happened to Braylon prior to him. The tumor had metastasized in the brain, and it had ruptured, and it killed her. And when we were going through this with Braylon, we found out he had a relapse. That same exact thing happened. The tumor had ruptured in his brain, and he was hemorrhaging in his brain, and we were almost devastated. But the only thing we could stand on is what God had said. And so, and even after that, another girl that we had became so close to, they ended up dying for the same exact thing that happened to Braylon. And the only thing that was different between us and Braylon is that we know that we had that strong prayer. And I want to emphasize that. We had strong prayer and going for Braylon 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We literally had a prayer chain. And that's what has saved his life. And so as we went on, Braylon, now he's 7 years old. He's living today, and he is cancer free. One thing that the doctor said, that because he had to have full brain radiation, and they said that he would lose cognitive levels. My son is 7 years old in the 3rd grade. At that age, I was only in the 1st grade. And so, you know, my son is a miracle working power of God.
And that was a powerful testimony of God's miracle working power of God. You just heard from Jasmine and Jovel Clark about their son Braylon, and he has been healed of cancer. And, you know, the rest of our day and our days, we should just have such a thankfulness because we serve such a wonderful God. You have listened to Word of Faith Speaks Out. We will be back this week, Wednesday and Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. And go to our website, wordoffaithfellowship.org, to learn more about us. And thank you so much for tuning in.
Enjoy the Atlanta Braves and NASCAR here on the Foothills Most Sports Station, WCAB, Rutherfordton.